So friends, in the first part of the video, we were trying to answer this question as to how to improve your performance in any field and get the desired results. Okay, this was the basic question. And if you are new to this channel, we are trying to cover this topic, very important topic. Please consider subscribing and also see the last video, the previous video of this session in which we discussed what are the key factors which drive motivation, and motivation drives performance, and performance drives results. Okay, so we saw these factors in the last video. We'll go to the next section today, and the next section is this. In the previous section we saw that how motivation levels drive performance. Now comes the competency. This is where we left last time. Okay, the competency part, and we'll elaborate on this. So we left here last time. So we'll come to this. So how your level of competency. Now competency is decided by a couple of factors again. So one is knowledge. This knowledge is actually theoretical knowledge that you have in any field. So it starts with information gathering. Like for example, if you learn what is digital marketing, what are the fundamentals of digital marketing, what are the key terms and terminologies there. So these are all information. Okay, this is all data. This is all definitions and theory behind a certain skill that you want to learn. And after that you also try to understand the interrelation between concepts. What is the relationship between Google ads and Facebook ads and Google analytics and Facebook ads and content writing and website and those things. So all interrelated topics you try to understand. So individually you understand here, and then you try to understand interrelationship between those concepts on a theoretical level on paper. You also start solving problems on paper. Again, this is also only on paper. This is all theoretical. So you solve some case studies, like in B schools, and that's where you get all the theoretical knowledge. Okay, so if you don't have good knowledge, if you don't have a good theory and base understanding of concepts, okay, key concepts and their relationships, and if you're not able to solve the problems on paper, you will have low competency. Low competency will lead to lower performance and poorer results. Okay, so understand this. We'll also take another view, what apart from knowledge, what else is driving competency. Okay, so apart from knowledge, we will see your skills drive competency. Okay, so knowledge, skills. Now skills is the ability to actually do those things. Okay, so this is skills. For example, here you know how to solve problems. This is where your hands-on things come. So you actually make a website, you start running Facebook ads, Google ads, email marketing, and you make mistakes, and then you learn, and slowly you become expert. So these are hands-on skills. If you don't do this, again your competency is poor. You only have this knowledge, which is not sufficient. This is necessary but not sufficient. So these two are required. And the most important thing in all, more important than these two, this can be learned, this can be learned. Okay, but this is most important, your attitude. Now this attitude is not the attitude that we speak about in the normal language, in our day-to-day language. This attitude is something called lycometer. Now lycometer is like like a meter, okay, which has a needle. Here you dislike something, here you like something. So this lycometer for something is here extremely, you don't like something, is lycometer is here. If you love something with passion, the lycometer, the needle will move towards like. This is strong dislike, this is strong like. Okay, this is strong dislike, this is strong like. So your lycometer is your attitude towards that skill or towards that area that you want to build your competency in. For example, sometimes it's possible that you are forced to build competency in certain area, but you don't really like it. I mean, you have to study it, you got an admission into engineering, but you feel inside of you that you're not an engineering material, or you're doing law but you don't like it, you're doing accounts, you don't like it. So your lycometer is slightly towards the negative, the dislike side. So if you don't like something, you will probably not be motivated enough, you will not build your competencies, you will not read much about it with passion, Okay, your skills will not be developed because you will work half-heartedly. Okay, for example, you will be discouraged very often. Your intensity will be low. Your persistence, you will give up very easily. You will not feel good about it. Your mental health may suffer because of this, and because of the mental health suffering, your physically you may become lethargic, or uh, low energy person. So ultimately this is very very important. You should have a good positive liking towards the field that you are trying to develop your performance in and get results. If you don't like that field, you will not be able to drive performance. So when you're selecting your career also, even if you have already selected it, you should change it as soon as you can, and if you can, because otherwise you will always be average person in that field, because you never liked that field in the first place, or you realize it later that you don't like that field. Okay, so this is very very important, guys. Please, there are tests, there are personality tests which will tell you what you are good at, and we'll come to another concept after 5 minutes on this topic. How do you know that what you are good at? So know this thing. So second factor, major factor that drives performance, is level of competency, your competency. So first was motivation, we spoke about in the previous video. The second is level of competency. The third is this environment. So even if you have all the knowledge, you have good skills, okay, you have right attitude also, you love that thing also, you are highly motivated also, but if the environment is not supportive, for example, if the company has gone bankrupt, or if there is some, you're sick, or you're not, I mean, sick is here, but if there is an unrest in the country, or there is a problem in the family, your environment, or if you're going through a personal problem, relationship problems, then your environment is not allowing you. If you are staying too far, or if you don't have electricity at house, for example, I mean, if the internet is down or something like that, if your environment is not supportive, even if you are very competent and highly motivated, your performance will not be at par. So I've kept it in the last, because typically environment these days is very good. I mean, we are living in a good country, very progressive country, and we have a lot of opportunities. We have good, most of us have very good infrastructure where we are living. So this is the last thing, but nonetheless this is also important. Sometimes the environment is not supportive, so keep that in mind. Okay, so these three factors, motivation level, level of competency, and environment, drive your performance, and that in turn drives your results. So now you know what you should do in order to improve performance. Okay, don't beat yourself up. You have to focus on these areas and test individually how good are you in each of these areas. And then this is an outcome. Okay, performance is an outcome. These are the factors that are your inputs. So focus on inputs, your outcome will improve automatically. Okay, so we go to the next slide. This is the second last slide, and see, this is the formula. Okay, sorry. So this is the formula for improved performance: your level of motivation, your competency, and your environment around you. So these are multiplied. That means even if one of them is low, this entire thing will go down. This is not plus. This is not plus. This is multiplication, which means these are factors. Okay, so if one is 0, for example, the entire thing will become 0. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now we come to the last slide of this quick video, and this is also an integration of what next we are going to talk about. There's something called Ikigai. Okay, I'm sure many of you know what is Ikigai, but for some of you don't who don't know what is Ikigai, Ikigai is a very good Japanese concept. Okay, so, and it is your reason of existence. Okay, why do you live, and what can you do best with your life? So this is a very good concept from Japan. There are many good concepts from Japan. Now I'll just zoom this in a little bit so that you know what is Ikigai. uh, Let me zoom this in, and there will be a separate video on this. So basically Ikigai is a cross section of these four circles. Now this circle is your strength. Okay, so this circle is your strength, this circle. This circle is what society needs. Okay, this circle is your passions, and this circle is your abilities. So wherever all these four circles meet, this common area, okay, this is what you should be doing in your life for getting maximum satisfaction, personal satisfaction, also earning, and also giving back to society, and also pursuing your strengths and your passions. So we will talk about this diagram very briefly in the next video.